Here are 10 things you should check before buying a used truck. At one point in life, you need to own a truck. In fact, trucks are easily some of the most popular vehicles in American homes, with their hardy and versatile nature making them a useful resource to have. Whether you want them for the heavy lifting, extra space they afford, the manly look and driver-centered styling approach, or even for getting the family to camps and the countryside, you will find a truck offers you extra utility. You can hardly go wrong with a truck, and their easy maintenance demands mean that ownership will not cause too much of a dent in your pocket. The budget issue usually comes when seeking to make the purchase of a truck. The good thing is you can shed almost half the price it would cost you to buy a new truck by going for a used model. This can actually be a better option since it allows you to avoid the hype and biased reviews that accompany new models when they come out, so you usually have a more honest picture and reviews by the buyers of the model. Better still, at less than the original price, you have more funds to either go for the higher trim models or have money for customizing the truck to your needs. However, there are a couple of things you should know to help you make the right purchase. Number 10. Include the repair cost when making comparisons. When making comparisons, the first area is usually the price of the truck. This could either be comparisons made across different truck models or across the various dealerships you are considering to purchase from. Most people tend to use only the given price when making comparisons, but this is the wrong way to do it. You have to use the total cost, which factors in any repairs you will need to make on the truck. These include any added improvements you plan on making and any repairs you discover you have to make in order to properly use the car. You should not assume the cost of repairs and improvements. Simple things like replacing nuts and bolts, new wheels, transmission parts, brake parts, door parts, new engine parts, etc. And improvements like paint jobs, upholstery, and trims, infotainment system are quite costly when you consider their total sum. This will inform your choice on whether you stick with a truck which you may be purchased at a far cheaper rate but requires quite some investment in sprucing it up, or you pick one which is quite expensive but has little need for improvements before use. Whatever you choose, you need to be aware of the full cost. Number 9. Private seller versus dealership. This is usually either one of the biggest considerations before purchasing a truck, or something hardly considered at all. Yet, it is an important part of the used truck buying process because the different options have different pros and cons. For instance, working with a private seller provides you with the advantage of getting the car from someone with an intimate knowledge of the car, and you can ask questions like why the truck is being sold and find a more recent history of checkups. You also have more room for negotiations and testing the truck compared to a dealership. On the other hand, with a private seller, you are buying the pickup on an as-it-is basis, meaning there are no warranties on the truck. You also lack financing options if you need any, and you have to be prepared to put in the required legwork and paperwork and meeting the different private sellers. Working with dealerships offers variety, warranties, and certifications of full inspections done by experts, trade-in options, and more legal protection. On the other hand, you have to deal with pushy sales agents who may blind you to the bigger picture, little negotiation room, and quite higher prices. Number 8. Be on the lookout for the truck title. One of the first things to check before you even negotiate the price of the truck is its vehicle title. It not only tells you about the ownership of the title, but even more importantly, it also lets you know the condition of the truck despite its looks and where you are buying from. There are several types of titles, including a clean title, a salvage title, a rebuild title, and a lemon buyback title. A clean title is what you should be looking for and offers you the peace of mind that your vehicle does not have a history that could compromise its integrity. A salvage title means the vehicle was involved in a serious accident and written off as a loss as the cost of repair was deemed too high and usually major parts have been affected. Should the truck be repaired and subjected to inspections by professionals, it earns a rebuilt salvage title. This does not mean it is a quality purchase, and you should only pick such a truck if the repairs report indicates that the parts crucial to its performance were not affected by the accident. You should also avoid trucks with titles such as flood vehicle and lemon law buyback. Number 7. Match your truck to your needs. It is very easy to buy more truck than you need, and also very easy to be taken in with the majesty of a truck and forget about your real needs. This, in turn, results in you spending more than you really need of getting a truck that is just about everything right except what you bought it for. Identify the purpose you have for the truck. If it is for use as a family ride, then the main focus will be on the seating arrangement and capacity. If the main use is for towing, then you will be focusing on its horsepower and towing capacity, and the same goes for a truck picked for hauling, only you will be focusing on its hauling ability and size of the bed instead of towing capacity. In terms of performance, consider where you will be using the truck: in town, on the highway, in the countryside, on off-roads, if it will be used for commercial or personal purposes, if it will be used on a daily basis or only once in a while, say for camping trips, etc. These are considerations that ensure you do not get an underwhelming or an overwhelming pickup truck once you start using it. Number 6. Consider your preferences. Once you have covered the real needs and wants, it is important now to work on your personal preferences and the convenience each truck model offers. For example, do not get a big truck if you do not have enough space for packing or you intend to use it for daily driving to town, since you will have issues with turning and parking too. Similarly, if you are an off-road fanatic, you may have to forego comfort driving on the highway and get yourself a hardcore off-road. However, you still have to keep in mind other users of the truck. Similarly, despite the extensive progress made in equipping pickup trucks with luxury items, not everyone appreciates that no two models offer the same luxury elements. At times, the extra luxury comes at the expense of something else you may value more, so it is important to weigh all the options and what your experience will be in the truck. Another important consideration to make at this point is whether you want to have a gas or diesel engine. Each has its advantages and conveniences, while the budget may also play a factor, especially for a pickup truck intended for regular heavy lifting. Number 5. Take the car for a test drive. The only way you can properly evaluate whether the used truck will be a good fit is getting to drive it. Not just on the yard or a short spin in the neighborhood, but a real test drive long enough to allow you to properly get the feel and subject the truck to several tests and where possible in similar conditions to those it will be operating in, mostly once in your possession. In fact, it is recommended that you have 2 test drives instead of the usual one for brand new trucks. You are looking both at the quality of the driving experience as well as the mechanical soundness of the truck. Some of the things to check and evaluate their quality include the truck's electronics. The door and windows should all operate smoothly with the doors locking both inside and outside. Headlights, brake lights, and turn signals should all work. The infotainment system should work fine and the climate control system should also operate smoothly for the duration of the test drive. Check for the acceleration, cornering, braking and controlling of the car. Listen for any odd noises and take the car through different speeds, since lower speeds may prevent you from detecting any mechanical or bodywork issues. Number 4. Get a report from Carfax for a background check. You want to be sure about the kind of accidents the truck has been involved in and the damage that resulted from it. From such a report you will be able to tell which parts of your truck have been affected, and hence you are able to evaluate how the performance and integrity of the truck have been affected. The only way you can get a comprehensive review is by getting a Carfax report. A Carfax report provides important information concerning the car title, previous ownership, any reported accidents and even repairs history. If a truck has had several owners in a short time and given the fewer expenses that come with trucks, then you need to be wary of the truck. It may have a perennial issue that has not been resolved by previous owners. It gets its data from state agencies, police and the various repair shops. A Carfax report also allows you to be able to confirm the truck's VIN number, model and year of make, enabling you to verify claims made by the agent or private person selling you the car. You are also able to verify other kinds of damage the car may have been experienced, including flood and fire damage. Number 3. Be on the lookout for used trucks that have recalls issued on them. A huge number of truck models are getting affected by recalls each new year. These recalls range from exploding airbags, engines stalling while driving, faulty safety belts and transmissions, as well as the car's circuitry, among other things. These are issues that can easily result in problems like fires, a compromised safety system and crashes. While new cars cannot be sold when there is an open recall for them, there is no such protection offered for used cars, and this means you can still be sold a used truck which has an open recall not fixed. This is a widespread issue given recent reports that show that up to 25% of recalled vehicles do not get fixed. This means you are at a high risk of getting stuck with a known faulty issue that warranted a recall but which the owner of the vehicle or the car dealer chose to ignore. To avoid this risk, you can start by getting a free recall check from Carfax, using the vehicle identification number. You can also check from the manufacturer's website to see if the truck's model and year and VIN have been listed as due for recall. Even when you are informed that the truck's recall issues have been fixed, get a second opinion. Number 2. Request and examine the truck's repairs and maintenance schedule. Even if the truck looks new and it is being sold at a reputable dealership, you still need to go through its repairs report and its maintenance schedule. A repairs report adds on to any information which you will get from the Carfax report, filling out details you may have left out. This is especially true for minor repairs or those done at smaller mechanics who either do not file their reports with Carfax. Once you have the repairs report, you have to look at the various areas which have been subjected to repairs and the kind of repairs done. If one area has been subjected to consistent repairs, then this points to a significant issue and you are better off avoiding the truck even if you are told the fault has been fixed permanently. A maintenance schedule is important and the records should match the schedule recommended by the manufacturer. Regular maintenance schedules highlight a car that has not been given good care. This means that you will likely end up with a problematic car and even the person selling it does not have a clear picture of the mechanical needs of the car. Confirm the repairs and maintenance schedule with a professional mechanic. Number 1. Find out what the truck has been used for. One important part of your checklist is to know what job the truck was used for prior to being sold. When you are getting it from a private seller, you need to find out first why the truck is being sold, then for both the dealership and seller you need to find the tasks the truck was used for. This is important because you will use it to know what to look for when inspecting the truck and even gauge the kind of pressure it has been subjected to. It will help you know if the car can match your purpose, but more importantly whether to skip it or buy it. You should be wary of the cars that have been used for commercial purposes and rentals. This is because they are hardly driven with care compared to personal cars. They also have more mileage and the sprucing inside is also not top-notch. Further, you should be wary of unnoticed mechanical issues since most are just subjected to general maintenance and could have a couple of knocks in parts and underneath. It is also not a good idea to get trucks that have been doing heavy-duty work for long because most of their parts have been strained and will be prone to failure after a short period. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and like if you enjoy this video.